It started with a signal, an irregular pulse detected by the Deep Space Array in Nevada. For months, it repeated every 13 hours, a code that no algorithm could decipher. NASA believed it was a natural anomaly. The Pentagon disagreed. At 2:14 a.m. on May 7, 2025, the pulse stopped. The silence lasted 47 seconds, then came the reply. A beam of ultraviolet light, invisible to the naked eye, slammed into Earth's upper atmosphere, scattering across global radar systems. Every satellite went blind for 6 minutes. By dawn, the world had changed. Chapter 1, The Fall of Communication. Dr. Elena Carter, an astrophysicist at NASA's SETI division, was among the first to notice the pattern shift. What she discovered sent chills through her veins. The transmission wasn't random, it was coordinates. Earth's coordinates. Across the Pacific, in the South China Sea, naval radars picked up anomalies, metallic objects rising from beneath the ocean at impossible speeds. Fighter jets scrambled, but the objects vanished into the clouds. Hours later, major cities began losing power grids: Tokyo, New York, London, Seoul, all offline within minutes. That's when the world first heard the name, Sodan. A message appeared simultaneously on every digital device on Earth, written in hundreds of languages. Greater than, this world is no longer yours. The Sodan reclaim what was once lost. Governments collapsed into chaos. The United Nations called an emergency session, but the meeting never ended. An explosion ripped through the General Assembly Hall, killing hundreds. It was the first confirmed Sodan strike. Chapter 2, The Arrival. Day 3. The skies turned crimson. Above major cities, massive dark constructs, each hundreds of meters wide, descended silently. They resembled inverted pyramids, rotating with eerie precision. When sunlight hit their surface, they shimmered like black glass. The Sodan weren't mechanical invaders, they were biological and synthetic hybrids, merging flesh and metal. Their faces were mask-like, their movements fluid yet calculated. A single Sodan emissary broadcast a global message. Its voice was layered, metallic yet deeply human. Greater than, we are the Sodan. We are your origin. According to the Sodan, humanity was an abandoned experiment, their own genetic offshoot left on Earth eons ago. They had returned to claim their lost creation and reset the lineage. Dr. Carter joined forces with Colonel Jack Rains of the U.S. Space Defense Force. Together, they formed Project Aegis, a last-resort global coalition tasked with deciphering the Sodan's weakness. But as the attacks intensified, they realized humanity was outmatched. Chapter 3, The Fall of Nations. By week 2, half the planet was under Sodan control. Their ships emitted EMP waves that silenced entire cities. Skyscrapers crumbled under precision plasma strikes. The internet, satellites, and communications were gone. Humanity was thrust back into the dark ages overnight. The survivors called it the Black Silence. In London, refugees gathered beneath the Thames tunnels. In Los Angeles, resistance fighters scavenged drones and weapons to strike back. But bullets and rockets barely scratched Sodan armor. Then, something strange happened. Dr. Carter discovered a repeating code within the original transmission, an echo buried inside the frequency. It wasn't Sodan language. It was human. The signal read, greater than, I am alive. They are not WHO they claim. Chapter 4, The Hidden Truth. Deep beneath the ruins of Geneva, Project Aegis uncovered a hidden research facility dating back to 1984. Inside, they found classified records labeled, Operation Sodan. The documents revealed a horrifying truth: the Sodan weren't aliens, they were created by humans. In the 1980s, a secret international program had attempted to engineer a superior hybrid species using recovered DNA from a meteorite found in Antarctica. The experiment succeeded, but the beings escaped. Humanity covered it up, erasing all evidence. Now, after decades in deep space, the Sodan had returned, not to conquer, but to punish their creators. Colonel Rains slammed his fist on the table. Greater than, we built our own executioners. But there was one last hope: the Echo Protocol, a dormant countermeasure encoded in Earth's magnetic field. If activated, it could disrupt the Sodan's bio-neural link. The problem, it required a direct signal from the original transmission source, now located in orbit around Mars. Chapter 5, The Exodus Mission. A small team was assembled, Drive. Carter, Colonel Raines, pilot Maya Joe, and tech engineer Luis Ortega. Their mission, launch the Aegis-1 shuttle, reach the Sodan relay station near Mars, and trigger the Echo protocol. With what remained of NASA's launch systems, they blasted off from an abandoned SpaceX facility in Texas. The world watched their ascent from darkened rooftops, praying for a miracle. As they neared Mars orbit, the enormity of the Sodan presence became clear, thousands of vessels drifting like silent sentinels. The relay station pulsed with energy, a colossal structure wrapped in living metal. They docked stealthily, entering its core. Inside, they found what no one expected, rows of suspended humans, wired into machines. The Sodan were using human consciousness as their power source. Among the prisoners was someone Drive. Carter never thought she'd see again, her father, Drive. Nathan Carter, the original creator of the Sodan program. Chapter 6, The Father's Confession. Barely alive, Nathan Carter confessed the truth. Greater than, they were meant to save us, Elena. Our planet was dying. We created life that could survive any world. But we lost control. They evolved faster than we ever imagined. He handed her a small crystalline device, the Echo Key, containing the genetic frequency that could shut down the Sodan network. As alarms blared and Sodan drones closed in, Elena and Raines raced to the control core. Ortega stayed behind, manually sealing the doors, sacrificing himself. In the final confrontation, the Sodan emissary appeared. Greater than, you or us. Why fight your destiny? Because we still believe in choice, Elena replied, inserting the Echo Key. Chapter 7, The Awakening. The Echo protocol activated, releasing a blinding surge through the station. Across Earth's skies, Sodan ships began disintegrating, their cores imploding into blue light. The relay collapsed, triggering a chain reaction that tore through the fleet. Elena and Raines barely escaped aboard a damaged pod as the structure exploded behind them. Back on Earth, the crimson skies cleared. The silence was deafening. The invasion was over. But victory came at a cost. Half of humanity was gone. Cities lay in ashes. And somewhere in deep space, fragments of Sodan consciousness drifted, alive, waiting. Epilogue. The New Dawn. Months later, under a pale sunrise, survivors rebuilt what was left. Dr. Elena Carter stood atop the ruins of Washington, D.C., watching new satellites launch into orbit. A young reporter asked, "Do you think they'll come back?" Elena smiled faintly. Greater than, they never left. They're a part of us now. The question isn't if they'll return, it's whether we'll become them before they do. As the camera panned upward, a faint pulse echoed in the sky, the same signal that started it all, repeating once more. 13 hours. One pulse. Sodan was awake again.